Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Scree Gear is more than apparel. It's a tribute to the relentless, the tireless, the true guardians of the wilderness. It's for those who seek not just a game, but a legacy. Not just a sport, but a way of life. In our gear, you're more than a hunter. You're a story, a tradition, a legend in the making. Scree is your journey, your triumph, your success. Join the working man revolution. Success awaits.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and we got another great episode for you today. Today, we're actually connecting with Matt Miller. Matt is a listener. He is an active military member and a stud. He's just living the dream. He's a great father. He's hunting with his son. Matt, thank you so much for reaching out, and thank you for sharing your stories with us today. To you listeners, I hope you guys enjoy these. They're pretty amazing. It made me more excited to go hunt with my son, and I've got 2 hunts planned with him this year. So I'm not going to ruin any of the thunder here. Let's just kick this thing off. Matt, thank you again. Now let's go ahead and hear some of Matt's stories. Thank you. All right, Matt. Welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast, brother. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great, man. It's good to hear your voice. Very familiar.
That's good to hear, man. I love talking to people that like actually listen to the podcast. I love people that reach out and say, "Hey, I've got some great stories I'd like to share." I mean, this is why I did it. You mentioned just a little second ago while we were chatting, like not an influencer. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I just want to hear fun stories, man. That's what it's all about. And so, thank you for reaching out, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
really excited about doing this.
Cool, man. Yeah, let's do this, man. Why don't we start off with just you introducing yourself, a little bit of history about you, your family, your hunting experience, and then we'll just jump right into it, man. Tell some stories.
Yeah, certainly. So my name's Matt. I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida. So if you're not familiar, that's kind of near the border with Georgia. We actually do have hunting there. A lot of people are surprised when you say you're from Florida and you grew up hunting a little bit. But that area of Florida, if you've never been there, has a lot of open spaces, a lot of pine trees, a lot of hunting opportunity, maybe not necessarily great opportunities, but yeah, I didn't really grow up in a hunting family, but I had an older brother that hunted a little bit, and some of my friends' dads would take me growing up, so they kind of brought me into the fold. One of them in particular, Dan, he'll be in some of the stories I share later, but he kind of brought me into the fold. A lot of ducks growing up, being in the swamps and so forth. There's a lot of waterfowl opportunities and believe it or not, some deer in Florida. Not great deer, but we have pretty liberal license requirements, and you can literally kill like a buck every day in Florida. That's
no way. I had no idea.
Tag them, you just have a license, and so people can kill a lot of deer. So I kind of started with that. I didn't hunt a lot as a kid, but really as I got into college, kind of had more time. I've heard you say on some other podcasts, like sports takes up a lot of your life when you're younger. I'm kind of getting to that point with my kids now, but, get to college, not playing sports anymore. And all of a sudden there's this void of free time and really kind of dove in deep.
Sports and girls, the thing that's stopped the most hunters. Let me ask you this. So you said that you didn't really come from a hunting family other than a couple distant relatives. What
Yeah.
what was it that got like you and your brother like interested in it? Because that's unique at a younger age to have like.
Yeah, I think my brother started with like somebody he worked with, right? And then for me, I always wanted to. I would see friends going with their dads or whatever, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And my dad he's an outdoors guy. We would get out and do things. He just didn't grow up hunting, and so it wasn't something that we did. But as soon as I was kind of old enough to drive and kind of work my way in with other people, that's what I was looking to do.
Got it. Very cool. All right. Well, continue. I kind of stopped you as you were introducing and getting into the post college things when you had time. Go from there.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier I'm in the Army. I've been in 20 years, so that kind of offers a different perspective. You pretty much move every 2 or 3 years. So I've found like the first year in a place, you're just totally figuring it out, really dependent upon people dropping hints or whatever. The second year, you start to figure it out, maybe have some success. The third year, you're like, oh man, I love this place. I know I got places to hunt. I know what I'm going to do. And then you move. So I started, I started in Georgia, then I went to Missouri, Hawaii, back to Florida, Louisiana, Kansas, Tennessee, hunted some in Kentucky while I was in Tennessee as well, back to Florida,
awesome.
and then now I'm in New Mexico, which is where it really gets interesting. But
okay.
Yeah,
you don't have to give me an answer right now or to go too deep into an answer, but you've been a lot of places, you've hunted a lot of places, which most people haven't, right? You've got a handful of folks that get out of their state. What was your favorite, or which one do you like wish you could go back to?
Man, New Mexico. So that's where I live now, and
Okay.
It is so surprising how good the hunting is here. I didn't really know. Honestly, I'd never been to New Mexico until I got stationed here, and we moved here, and slowly started to figure it out. I think I had done enough like online searching to know like, oh, they got elk there, oh, they got mule deer. I had no idea about the waterfowl, which is actually really good here. That's kind of what I've been into, my main thing, and so I was really surprising in New Mexico where there is water, there's ducks. And so that's been super fun. Some of the other places, Kansas, they have great whitetail. My mom grew up in Kansas on a farm, and so I have access to some private land up there that's been a blessing and a really, obviously, great opportunity for me. But I've found great hunting in all those places, but New Mexico is definitely the best.
That's awesome. That's super cool. In Hawaii, did you have much trouble finding places to hunt? Because I know that's like the main thing there.
Yeah, so I didn't have any luck. So I need to back that up, I guess, a little bit. Hawaii was like a 3-year hiatus for my hunting. I spent half of that time in Afghanistan. My first child was born while I was there. So we were at the beach. We were doing fun stuff. I never got into the hunting. It was kind of hard to break into, to be honest. If you don't have,
I believe that,
some private land opportunities, or you're not a true local, it is a difficult place to break into.
Yeah, I've got a pretty amazing experience for hunting there, but of course it was all on private, and like we paid to get access and all that stuff, and so it doesn't seem too feasible for people that like live there all the time to do it, just like public land style in New Mexico. But it's still a very cool experience.
Right. So complete opposite in New Mexico. All the opportunities are right there for you. It's so easy. And probably in Hawaii, you were probably on the Big Island. And
no, we were in Molokai.
Okay, yeah. So all the military people are stationed on Oahu, and there's not much opportunity there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, let's keep going. Do you want to dive into a story, or are you still kind of prepping us with your timeline here? Because
I'm going to I'll kind of dive into the past 2 years have just been crazy for me. It all coincides with moving to New Mexico. So I'm going to kind of recap the last 2 years with Kansas and New Mexico mixed together. During this time period, my oldest son Graham, he's like 9 to 11, so he's got the bug. He likes hunting, and I'm leaning into it. And then at the same time, we've moved to New Mexico, so the opportunities are there, and so we're just going for it. So first year here in New Mexico, you know how the tags work, right? So like the first year you move here, I wasn't a resident the previous year, wasn't able to put in. So the only opportunity we had was to go back to Kansas, private land up there. So November comes around, it's a rut. Me and my buddies usually try to take a trip to Kansas during that time frame. And so I'm here in New Mexico, all excited about going on this hunt. And we get a snowstorm in New Mexico, which is rare in Albuquerque. And actually, we're out of work, which is kind of good. I'm able to pack the car. And then by noon, it's the desert. It all melts. And I'm like, sweet, we're good to go. End up packing my wife's car. It's newer. It's better. It has like the adaptive cruise control and all that stuff. Just better for a 12-hour drive to Florida or 12-hour drive to Kansas. As crazy as that sounds, leaving my 4-wheel drive truck and taking my wife's car on a hunting trip. But that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So we go to head out, and snow's all melted, but the highway's closed, the interstate. I'm like, that's weird. I'm kind of new here. GPS routes me around through the mountains. I'm like, all right, whatever. We'll go this way. Well, come to find out, the interstate was closed because of snow still being in some areas. And then it routes me through the mountains where they literally got like 35 inches of snow overnight.
Oh my God.
So we get up.
Google didn't know the right route in that case, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the roads were open, but they were tough. And so we get up around Santa Fe in the mountains, and there's like a highway patrolman waving people off the road. So he waves us off the road, stop and talk to him. I'm like, hey, man, are we going to be able to get – he's like, where are you going? I'm like, Kansas. He's like, oh, geez. He's like, well, yeah, you'll be fine. This is a 4-wheel drive. You should be able to make it this way. I'm like, it's actually not a 4-wheel drive. but okay, we're going to keep going. And so we keep driving. It's really bad road conditions. We get to a truck stop. And I'm like, let's just pull in here and we'll get some dinner and like kind of get a feel for what's going on. Go to pull in the truck stop. It's just like zombie land. Like trucks in there sideways, people all wrecked. There's like a line to get in the truck stop. I'm like, I'm not going to wait hours in a dangerous situation to get into a truck stop. Yeah. Let's just keep going. So we just keep driving, keep driving slow, get back past where the interstate was closed, get out into the interstate, get into another truck stop. And I'm like, all right, I need to get gas. There's like 3 feet of snow. Can I get to this gas pump without getting stuck? So we kind of wait around. We wait for a truck to go in front of us and kind of like follow their tracks into the gas pump, get gas, go inside, start talking to people like truckers, hey, how bad is it? One guy's like, hey, I've been here for 24 hours and just waiting for it to clear. I think it'll be good in the morning. And we got like everything that we need in the truck. We got food, we got clothing for cold weather, whatever. And I'm like, man, let's just keep going. So I get back out on the highway and driving like literally like 30, driving on like snow and ice, just cruising, passing all these trucks off the side of the road. I'm calling my buddies and I'm like, guys, I don't know if we're going to make it. Like I might have to turn around, whatever. They're coming in from Florida, so they're coming from a different direction. Well, we end up driving through it. Like we just take it slow and easy. We get through this crazy snowstorm, which we have never had another one like that since I've been living here. But that a wild start to the trip. So we finally make it to Kansas. Get there late at night. Next morning, really my goal is to get my 9-year-old son Graham a deer. So it's archery season, which up there you can use crossbow. You can go ahead and insert all the hate in the comments, but
I do for a 9-year-old. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I use it too.
There you go.
No shame here either, man.
For an adult, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, if you've ever shot a deer with a rifle, then don't talk about a crossbow. Yeah. So he's been shooting it. Like he's pretty dialed. Like I'm pretty confident in his marksmanship with it. Go buy a brand new pack of broadheads. It's like we're dialed. Go out on the hunt. My quiver holds 4, right? So I bring the 4 new broadheads, and then I bring a field tip just in case something, I don't know, like a coyote or whatever, right? And so it's a private farm, not like managed for deer. It's managed for ag. My family, they're farmers.
If you don't mind me asking, what part
yeah,
of Kansas? Because I got family in Kansas too.
Southeast Kansas, like near Pittsburgh area.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
so
family's more north, like the Larned area, so kind of like South Central-ish, more central.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good deer hunting country. And so we get set up, we're in the double stand, and a 4-point walks out like right in front of us. And if you've ever hunted in that area, those young bucks are they're dumb. They just hang around.
Okay.
And so I'm like, this is it, Graham, this is you, man. Let's get it. And much to my surprise, he's kind of like, man, I don't know, Dad. It's kind of small. I'm like, what? Come on, dude. And then, like, he's never killed a deer before. And we talked like, hey, do you want to kill a doe? He's kind of iffy about it. I'm like, okay, you want a buck? And this one comes out there. He's kind of iffy. And then he finds like, all right. And he just takes too long. I don't know how much you've hunted with a kid, but like just to get set up, to get on it, like he's just not confident, not quick. And so a 4-point walks on. I'm like, all right, no big deal. There'll be more. And all of a sudden, like a nice buck starts walking completely behind us. And he's moving with a mission. It's the rut, and he ain't slowing down. And we're on like a double stand on a big tree, and it's directly behind us. So I like wheel around, like halfway hanging out. I just grabbed the crossbow from him. I'm hanging out of the stand, like doing some kind of crazy maneuver, and I just shoot it real quick because the thing's moving. It ain't slowing down, nothing. Decent shot, and it drops him. And what I now know is it was a little bit high. So we're excited and everything, but it's got its head up. Like it's just, it dropped right where I shot it, but it's like just sitting there with its head up. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So I like reload. And at this point, it's like he's in a lot of brush. Like I can't really see good to really get dialed on another good shot. But I'm like, hey, I need to put another one in this. We've lost deer in this area before between me and my friends. Like these are big, strong bucks and archery, So I put another one in them. Maybe not the best shot, but it lands. Like I'm shooting through this brush and it's thunk, but his head is still up. I'm like, man, reload the crossbow. Me and my son are like trying to figure out what's going on, but I'm like, hey, shoot it again, right? I'm not going to watch this thing walk away. Reload the crossbow, like get through the brush the best I can. At this point, I'm just kind of like shooting at the deer, Thunk. Another shot lands, but he's still got his head up. I'm like, gee. I call my buddies who are kind of hunting in a different area, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Like I killed a great buck, man, or I shot a great buck, but it's like, it's just sitting there with his head up. And my one friend, who's a wildlife biologist, Dan, he kind of brought me into the fold hunting, trust everything he says. Oh man, I've seen this before, dude. They can get up and walk away. Like you got to get down and just walk right up to it and shoot it. So I'm like, all right, Graham and I, my son, we get out of the stand, load another one, walk pretty close, shoot it. Of course, that one ends up being the field tip, the last arrow that I have. And let me tell you this, if you've ever wondered what a field tip will do to a buck, absolutely nothing. That thing went right through its vitals, and the buck was looking at me like,
yeah. Have you heard my story about shooting a squirrel with my bow? Same thing, man. Shot it with a field point, man. It went right through. It's like and my arrow was then stuck into my target with the squirrel on the arrow, and he wiggled himself down to the fletchings. So I get a broom, block him from like the actual like arrow, so I could pull it out of the target. And I drop it thinking, well, I just skewered this guy. He's not going anywhere. He just takes off with my arrow. 3 feet of arrow just runs off. Didn't do a thing to him.
Yeah, so you can
made
imagine.
Made him easy to find because he had a big, bright orange stick hanging out of him. But
yeah, so you can imagine, like, I walk up to this buck, shoot him with this thing, which happens to be a field point, and I'm thinking like, oh, this is it, No, he took that field point to the vitals like nothing happened. At this point, my buddies who I called, they were close by. They come up, so we're all standing there together, just three grown men and a boy looking at this deer.
How far from the deer? I
mean, we're like 15 yards from it.
Oh no way!
And one of one of my buddies, I look at him and I'm like, man, I really don't want to like go up and wrestle this thing and stab it. I know that's what I should do. And like I wrestled in high school, and my buddy wrestled at the rival high school, and anyway, I was pretty good. And he's like, oh man, he probably doesn't want to wrestle you either. I'm like, well, the feeling's mutual. So I end up going up to the deer, and the first arrow was like a clean pass through. So I pick up this arrow that's already been through the deer, load it in the crossbow, shoot it, and that was the end. Sorry, it's kind of a gruesome part of the story, but a pretty wild and unique first real deer hunting experience for my son, and really the first good buck that I've shot. So at this point, I've been hunting 25 years, but it's on and off. Like I'm just a weekend warrior, I'm active duty Army guy. It's not like I'm spending lots of time out in the field, and as I'd mentioned, every 2-3 years it's somewhere else, and so like I've hunted a lot, I killed a lot of deer in the Southeast, nothing to write home about, but this one's really good, and it was pretty exciting, and wild to call my buddies, have them drive up there before we could finish the job, and my son, we were both just like mesmerized by the strength of this deer, but
right. So
yeah,
were the shots decent, or was it just a tough old buck? Like, why did it take so many bolts?
Man, I'm telling you, these Kansas bucks are so tough. But the first shot was high, right? So it spined it.
Okay.
I didn't know
that's
it.
Why it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, it dropped it right away. The next two were from the stand, and through the brush. I'm really just aiming to hit the deer. And then the number 4 was a broadhead, and number 5 was number 4 was a field tip. Number 5 was a broadhead that had already been through the deer once.
That's so crazy.
That one did the trick. But yeah, it was pretty. I'll hold it up for you. It was a nice 9-point.
Yeah, that's a good buck.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, he's a little tight, not the widest here. I got some bigger ones, but like pretty cool, man. Got some future stickers, and definitely not one that I'm gonna walk by and not.
Yeah, I don't know any hunters that wouldn't like to shoot that deer. That's a good buck.
No, yeah, I mean, there's better ones in this area of Kansas, but like best one, personal best for me. It was kind of funny. It was really my son who, we thought we were going to get first shot with him, but he acknowledged he was moving a little slow, and I was like, man, you would have just watched that deer walk by. Like, there's no way he could have reached around the tree and shot it. So we're cool. Relationship's still good.
still talk to each other.
yeah, he still lives here. But
how was the drive home?
Oh, all good, man. It was yeah. We were both excited. Had my wife's car with the deer loaded up in there. Like double trash bags on the head and coolers full of meat. But it was all good, man.
That's pretty awesome. And it's a great first story for him. He'll remember that forever. It's like my dad just kept shooting this buck with
for sure. And my best story is his. I'm getting to that one here in a little bit.
All right, well, keep going.
Yeah. So that kind of wraps up our first year living here in New Mexico. Again, no tags because we're late to the party. We weren't in state yet, and so we go to Kansas, get that buck. This second year comes around in New Mexico, which is this year, 25-26 season, and we're on our game. We put in for the draw, man. We just get lucky. So we both drew deer. I drew a muzzleloader deer in one of the best areas here in New Mexico. My son drew a rifle deer in a different area, and then I drew oryx. Oh,
cool.
Between us, we got 3 tags, which is amazing. And so we roll into September. First up is my mule deer hunt. I get linked up with a guy named Matt. He kind of takes veterans out hunting. And so we really meet through the internet and become friends after that. And he kind of takes me along on this hunt, or helps out with the tag that I've drawn. And it's in a super alpine area. So, from 9,500 feet at the top, probably down to 6,000 near where we're camping at. Just an awesome area to hunt.
Gotcha.
So muzzleloader, New Mexico is iron sights. So I do my homework. Like I've hunted muzzleloader before. I go to the range quite a bit, get dialed. I'm thinking about 100 is what I'm good with.
Yeah.
So get out there to the camp. First nights. I just got the weekend again. I'm like a weekend warrior, right? So I took Friday off. We meet up Thursday night. Get all set at the camp. Matt's like, let me see what you got in your pack there. I'm like, all right. I'm like, hey, dude, like, I've been through Army Ranger school. Like, the hiking's not going to be the hard part for me. But I'm like, whatever. We'll go through the pack. And he pulls out a couple things, and he's like, yeah, this is heavy, man. You don't need this. And, a couple like whitetail hunting things, like a little saw. And he's like, you don't need this crap. And he's like pinning down my bag. At the time, I'm like, dude, don't worry about me. Like, I'll be good. Fast forward the next morning.
Foreshadow.
Yeah. Fast forward the next morning, I start to realize why he's cutting all this weight out of my pack. So we start at the bottom, and we're like straight up for hours.
Yeah.
And really, the method we were using, especially with muzzleloader, it's kind of thick in this area. There's a little bit of glassing, but we're just walking. You're basically hiking in areas where there's good deer sign and moving to the deer. And so we go to crest like the first little mountain, if you will, or first like false summit of the mountain. And there's some decent smaller bucks there. And I'm like, I had already told him, Matt had been out there quite a bit. He knows the area. It's close to his house. He'd seen some really good bucks. I'm like, dude, if I just want a mule deer. Like, if I see a good one, we're getting it, And so we walk up, like, just as we crest, we're hiking hard.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Scree Gear is more than apparel. It's a tribute to the relentless, the tireless, the true guardians of the wilderness. It's for those who seek not just a game, but a legacy. Not just a sport, but a way of life. In our gear, you're more than a hunter. You're a story, a tradition, a legend in the making. Scree is your journey, your triumph, your success. Join the working man revolution. Success awaits.
There's like, a little bachelor group of like 3 legal little bucks. I'm like, I'm gonna take one. And like, I'm just amped, man. One from like hiking, I'm smoked. We literally just summited something. So I'm breathing hard. I'm amped because of the deer. I'm shooting straight up a hill. Anyway, I just clean missed. But they're still kind of, which I'm not proud of.
Yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
It does. It does. And so they're still there. I'm reloading like a Civil War soldier, and getting back ready to go. And I get back on it, and Matt's like, I don't know if this is the one. I'm like, maybe let's just wait and see what else we see. We're not too deep into the hunt. I'm like, cool. He's like, you missed it. It's like, we're good. You don't have to follow up. Like, all right. So we keep hiking. That kind of wraps up that day. I think it was 10 plus miles, which is nothing, but like the elevation that we're gaining and dropping is impressive. So get back to the camp that night. We're just telling stories, joking around, whatever. There's elk bugling. I mean, this is a fantastic place to hunt.
Yeah.
The next morning, same kind of deal. We start at the bottom, moving up. I guess the thermals. Matt's teaching me about all this. That's the best way to do it. So we start at the bottom, moving up. We get like summit, like 9,500 feet. Fog rolls in, a storm rolls in, but right as we crest, which I've come to find out is usually where you see mule deer when you crest. So right as we crest, like the next ridge over, there's like a trophy, in my eyes, trophy mule deer. And I'm in on it. The rangefinder won't pick up the range. I can tell it's a little more than 100. Matt's like, take it. I'm like, dude, this is more than 100. He's like, take it. It's a good opportunity. I'm like, all right. I shoot it. No dice. Miss that one. Yeah. Not my finest moment. Also, don't know that anyone would have hit it. It was pretty far and like foggy. The rangefinder not working should have been a good indicator. Like, hey, this is probably more than 100. And
yeah.
Poor sight conditions. So we hike back down. I'm kind of, beat up, as you could probably relate if you've ever missed a nice buck. So the third day, which is actually Sunday, and then I got to go back to work and probably need like a few minutes Sunday evening to like reset before I go back to work on Monday. And so I told Matt, I'm like, hey man, I can probably hunt for like half the day, and then I got to head out. So same deal. Start out, cresting, heading from the bottom to the top, tough hiking. Each day we're doing like 12 miles or so. And that doesn't really tell the story. The elevation is what really tells the story. But start hiking out, get up to the peak, not seeing much. The first 2 days, we'd seen quite a few deer, just either weren't legal or I missed them. But the third day, it's not as good. It's like, I'm like, hey man, I probably need to start heading back. We start heading back. We're hiking down, and boom, see a little deer. Not sure if it's legal right at the first site, but it kind of scampers off, but stops. Which I've learned, like the mule deer, kind of stop and give you more chances, way more than a whitetail would if you spooked it. But yeah, it ends up being like a 3x2. Finally make a decent shot. Got it, drop it. It rolls down the mountain, which was an interesting thing to see. And then end up cleaning in my first pack out, my first like Western, deer hunt experience. So we get it cleaned up right there on the ground, which is actually pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Matt, luckily kind of showed me the way how to clean a deer on the ground, which is awesome. Really tough pack out, but it felt good to be successful and have that deer on my back. A humbling marksmanship experience to say the least.
Sorry, muzzleloaders aren't easy. Were you shooting with like sabots or balls, or what are the regulations in New Mexico?
Sabots. So I think those are better, but without a scope, man, it's tough. So
yeah,
a humbling marksmanship experience to say the least. But I was successful. I'll pull this one out. So first mule deer hunt.
Heck yeah, man.
Pretty cool. And,
that's awesome. It's also great that like you got more opportunities. I don't, plenty of guys might have given up. Maybe just don't see another critter. So it's great that you got a little shooting practice, and then you still got to, finish the deal here.
So funny you say that. During that first evening where they're like, "Hey, let me see what you got in your pack." Matt and another local guy was like, "Hey man, you need these like speed loaders." And he's like showing me these little speed loaders for muzzle loader.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, I went to the range like 100 yards. I'm money, dude. Like, I'm not really planning on using the second one.
Yeah.
And then they're like, how many rounds you got? I'm like, I got like one in the gun, obviously. I got like 3 here on my pack, and I've, on my chest rig, and then I've got more, in my, like, oh no, you're going to need like 8 or 9, like right there on you. I'm like, whatever, man. Well, fast forward throughout the hunt. Yeah, I'm out there like a dang Civil War soldier, like reload, shooting, and yeah, we got it done. But it was a humbling marksmanship experience, to say the least.
It reminds me of a quote from one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you've ever seen Tremors, specifically Tremors 2, when the guy rolls in, they call the army guy up. They're like, "Hey, man, the tremor or I forget what they call them now, but they're like the aliens are back." And so he rolls in with a U-Haul just like filled to the brim with every kind of gun and ammunition and explosive you can think of. And they're like, "Is this a little bit of overkill?" And he goes, "It's not overkill if you need it."
Yeah.
I always think about that when everyone's like, "No, I don't need that. That's too much." It's like, you just take it, man. Just take it. If you need it, it's not overkill.
Yeah. So I drew a muzzle loader tag this year, and I will have the speed loaders and all of that.
I believe it. Well, that's a great story, man. I love it. Did your buddy end up having success on his harvest? I know that you were weekend warrioring, but did he pull his together?
He was just out there helping me out, to be honest.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Who yeah, what a generous, nice guy, man. And he was kind of running a camp. So he was hunting with me, but there was other people at the camp. And then one guy had an antelope tag, and he killed an antelope too. So super successful camp. It was awesome.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's keep going.
Yeah. So that's like year one here in New Mexico. So rolling into year two, we've drawn all these tags. I realized, like, hey, my son drew a rifle tag. He probably needs something to shoot. I got this old 30-06, like that's the way in the Southeast, right? But I was like, it's really not that accurate. It kicks too hard for him. So I end up trading it in at a local gun store for a 6.5 Creedmoor, which I'm sure there'll be plenty of hate in the comments for that. Go ahead.
Not many people. Most people don't hate. I think the only person that's really ever gotten any hate was when I had Ted Nugent on, and that was for totally different reasons. Otherwise, most people just get excited to hear the stories. So no hate. Yeah. No hate from the listeners.
I'm ready for it. So anyway, we traded in for that for good reason, to get him something he can shoot accurately, and all kinds of bullshit laws here in New Mexico. End up having like wait a long time, and I could spelled my name wrong for the background check, which is just crazy because I literally traded a gun. So like I gave them a gun, yet I've got to go through all this waiting to get the gun back that we just bought.
That is a little silly. Yeah. While
I'm in the waiting period, November rolls around again, and I go on the same archery rut Kansas hunt that I pretty try to do, most every year. It's around Veterans Day, and my son Graham has a baseball tournament, and so I'm like, man, I tell my buddies like, hey, I don't think I'm going to make it this year. We got this baseball tournament, and it gets closer, and I'm like, man, I don't have a baseball tournament. They don't need me. They need Graham.
Yeah, you're not pitching.
Exactly. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going on this damn hunt. So once again, get in the car, in my wife's car. That's how I do it. And 12-hour drive, just going for it. I usually roll straight into the stand when I get there if it's daytime. And so I do that again. I get there in the evening, jump straight into the stand. My buddies are already there, Dan and Tyler. And it's not ideal. Like the farm's not huge, and to have 3 guys hunting out there at the same time, it's not ideal. But anyway, I get settled in my stand. I know my buddy Dan's like not far away. I know where the stand that he's in is at. And as soon as I get settled, he texts me, "Hey, I just shot one." I'm like, "Oh man, that's awesome, dude." And so we've lost deer out there before during archery. He's shooting an actual bow, and so we're super careful. Wait a couple hours, get down. Being real careful, even though he thinks he had one of those lighted knocks, and he kind of saw where it went. But we meet up. We're excited. We get close to where he had shot it. I'm able to find a blood trail. We start following it, and it gets to the road, and we're like, crap, man. It crossed the road onto someone else's property. And we're like, man, we'll just, I don't see your lighted knock. Like, we got to get permission to go out here, whatever. So we end up waiting until the next morning. We get up the next morning, go out. It's cold, so we're able to, let it sit. Go out there the next morning. It's right on the trail. Like, you could literally see it from the road, which is wild. But we recovered just an awesome buck. So super happy for my friend. At this point, we've kind of blown out the whole area, trudging around, and so I'm like, crap, man. So
Was it tough to get access to that other farm, or do you guys you just know who it is, you just had to make the call?
yeah, I just had to make the call, and it was right there, like it was right off the road. We're lucky someone else didn't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was night. We didn't want to be trudging around there. And a weird part of the story, that evening before it got dark, as I was following the blood trail, a little buck had like come really close to me, and I took a picture of it. And in the background of that picture, we're able to see the rack of the buck that my friend shot laying
No
out in the
way.
field. Yeah, it was wild. So the next day, it's my turn. Obviously, my buddy Dan's tagged out. Next day, I'm like, man, I got to go somewhere else. We blew that place out. So I talked to my uncle, who's a farmer out there. He's got other properties we could go to. So he sets me up. He's like, hey, he tells me, hey, you're allowed to go to this one place. I know it well, so get in there, go right to the stand. Kind of, it's really windy, crappy weather. I'm just kind of like bummed out, you know what I mean? Like this isn't going to be successful. Like, what am I doing? Sitting there for a while, start rattling, which never works, right? It never works for me. I start rattling, and this little buck comes running up, and I'm like, whoa, that actually worked. It was like a 4-point or something. And I'm like, wow, okay. And then maybe 30 minutes later, I see like a shooter buck, a big one. But it's in Kansas, you can see for days. These properties kind of have like little clumps of like heavily wooded areas. So you hunt the edge of that. So I'm seeing across this field like a mile away or half a mile away, like a nice buck. And I just sit there for a while, and I'm like, all right, let me try this rattling thing again. I rattle again, and man, I still got the rattle in my hand, and this buck comes out like zigzagging in front of me, like 15 yards under the stand, just pissed. He looks like a rodeo bull, just like zigging, zagging.
That's awesome.
I dropped the rattle, grabbed the crossbow, and just put it right on it. I mean, this all happened like super fast, and I don't know. There was something about the buck being pissed that like had me way much in a hurry, and so I ended up taking a shot. It was a quartering away shot,
Okay.
which I hadn't really, practiced or thought through much. But I'm like, man, the vitals on the backside, and I ended up making a great shot, man. And I dropped this thing at like 50 yards away. Just get to watch him just roll over in the field, and it was awesome. A really, really great buck. A nice, big, wide.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Buck. Yeah, just in a bruiser, you can see he's like broken off here and everything. Just really cool buck. Cool story. Actually called it in after decades of trying to do that with no luck. And another funny part of the story, one of my uncle's like farmhand, he hunts that area, and he's kind of real protective. It's kind of a little bit of friction between like me and my brother and other family members and this farmhand who's done a lot for my uncle, but like tries to tell us where we can and can't hunt. Just not cool.
Interesting.
Anyway, he knew I was out there, and I shoot this buck. He sees me walking by on cell cam or whatever. I shoot this buck. I get it loaded up real quick, and he comes barreling around the corner like 10, 15 minutes later in his truck. Like, hey, what's going on? How'd you get one? I'm like, yeah, I got one. All right, he's like chatting and stuff, and then I just drove off, man. I'm like, you don't need to see this. Like, after
That's
all
funny.
those years of telling me where I can and can't hunt, I'm not even gonna give you the decency to even look at this buck. We're just out of here.
That's too funny, man.
Yeah, that was fun. And all right, so I get back to the camp. We're able to, or get back to where we're staying at, and my best friend killed a buck the night before. It's not fully cleaned yet. We gutted it, of course, but it's cold, so it was hanging, and so we're able to take pictures together, which was really cool. Me and my best friend, who kind of brought me into hunting, taking pictures together is super cool. And his buck was even better than mine. It had like kickers, points off the back of it. It was really cool. And so, that afternoon, I'm like,
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Scree Gear is more than apparel. It's a tribute to the relentless, the tireless, the true guardians of the wilderness. It's for those who seek not just a game, but a legacy. Not just a sport, but a way of life. In our gear, you're more than a hunter. You're a story, a tradition, a legend in the making. Scree is your journey, your triumph, your success. Join the working man revolution. Success awaits.
Guys, I'm tagged out. Love you guys. Would love to hang out longer, but kind of did what I had to do. This is day one of being there.
Yeah, I got a baseball tournament.
I got a baseball tournament. I got this damn rifle, and then I got Graham's hunt that he drew coming up like a few days later. So I literally just took off. Got the deer cleaned up, coolers in the car. I'm getting a little smarter this time, so I got like a big tub for the head and the rack. And I just take off, head back to New Mexico.
Spend more time driving that hunt than you did actually hunting.
Man, I've had a lot of them like that. And people think it's crazy. I'm like, I'll drive 12 hours for a good hunt any day. Versus, it was well worth it. It would have been great to hang out with my friends longer, but kind of had to get back for a couple reasons. One being that rifle that we're waiting on, and two being Graham's hunt, which is like days away. And I think Graham's here. Graham, you still over there? I'm gonna let him introduce himself here.
Perfect.
Here, bud. Take one of those.
Hey, Graham. How you doing, man? We're about to hear about your hunt, brother.
Yeah, this is Graham. He's 11 years old. He's a pretty experienced hunter. You're about to hear a good story about his first deer that he shot. And then we got some pretty cool waterfowl stories if you got time later. We'll share those too. But
can't wait to hear him, man. Yeah, I'm gonna get my you probably heard I'm gonna get my son out hunting this year for the first time. He's only 7, my oldest, so a little bit behind Graham, but I'm excited to get out there with him. That's what it's all about, right? Taking the next generation.
For sure, man. I think he started probably 5 going on some duck hunts. Duck hunts are easier, you can set him up in a kayak or a boat and just kind of sit there. I've had my younger son, he's 5 now. I've been taking him for about a year, so he started at 4. But yeah, duck hunts are a great way to get the kids started.
I've only been duck hunting like twice, and I'm teaching myself, so I don't know much about it. But you're right, I should take my son with me. He would just probably be disappointed when I didn't shoot anything.
I've had plenty of that. They get real disappointed when you miss. Yeah, that was right there. I'm like, just wait till you get after ducks that are flying.
That's too funny.
Super, super fun.
All right. Well, first off, how do you do in that baseball tournament?
Should have went on the hunt with me.
There we go. All right. Well, then let's hear about this hunt. Then I'm excited to hear about the Graham's hunt.
Yeah. So I got to rush out of my hunt, right, to get back for Graham's hunt. So I think I get back on Monday, the actual Veterans Day. Or no, Tuesday was Veterans Day last year.
Okay.
We finally, like, Monday I go pick up the gun. Tuesday we go shoot it. And to be honest, like, he just didn't get as dialed as I wanted to be. Like, I was thinking maybe 100 yards. He seems to be somewhat consistent, hitting at 100 yards. And we shot all the ammo we had. So we shot 2 boxes of ammo. And I go to the store. Of course, they don't have the same type. They got like a different type. And
Yeah.
we got to roll. Wednesday comes around. We got to roll right into the hunt. You probably know how the hunts go around here. Like, you get 5 days, right? So you gotta make the most of it. So we got 1 day on the range, and then we kind of roll right into the hunt with like different ammo than what we practiced for. We're not totally dialed. I'm starting to think this is just like we're just going hunting for the heck of it. And so
nothing wrong with that either, though.
Yeah. So Graham draws this tag. Again, I'm people I work with or some locals and stuff, and I'm getting advice on, what areas to put in for. So Graham puts in for this area. We'll just call it 22. And so we're all excited. We get the area, and I go to my one friend that was giving me some advice about, what areas to put in for. I'm like, hey, we got 22. He's like, 22? Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never hunted out there. I'm like, hey, no problem. Must have been my other friend that told me that one. I go to the second guy, and he's like, yeah, 22. Oh, man, I've never hunted out there. I'm like, I had a pen in my hand when you guys were talking. One of you guys told us to put in for 22. But luckily, my friend Matt, he's like, I haven't hunted out there much, but he ends up like going on some turkey hunts out there.
Okay.
And so he's like, yeah, I've seen 2 small bucks. I'm like, dude, that's perfect. Like, we just need, something to get after. And so he kind of tells me where he had seen them. Graham and I go out there. We set up camp. There's a state park close by. So, like, we got decent campsite. We set out the first day hiking into this, public land. And just as the sun comes up, we're on the edge of a lake out here in New Mexico, public land. And just as the sun comes up, we hear like boom, 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 like 8 shots. I'm like, oh man, I'm a duck hunter, So I'm like, oh, someone's killing ducks out here. Like, let's go figure out where they're at. And, I'm already kind of down about this hunt. So I'm like, if we can come out of here with a new duck spot, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So we start hiking in there, and we stop for lunch. We're like sitting on a rock eating our lunch, and we hear people talking. We're like, man, who talks? Like, I know there's other hunters out here, but like, who's out here just talking? So we get the binos, we start looking around, and we see like a dad and a kid cleaning a buck. We're like, oh, dude, that's awesome. They're close to us. So we walk over there. We're like, hey, congratulations, guys. And they start telling the story, and the dad's telling us, yeah, the sun came up, and he's like, we got in here at 4 a.m. We set up on this rock. The sun came up, and this buck was out there. He's like, my son shot 5 times. He missed all 5 times. He, dropped his magazine, reloaded. The buck came closer, and he finally had hit it with one of the 8 shots, like right here.
Right in the neck.
And,
Jeez.
Yeah. So the kid got his bum. Like, dude, that's cool, man. That's awesome. They were cleaning it up, and it seemed like they were doing fine. So we just go on with our hunt. We get back in there, beautiful territory. We hike a couple more miles. Then it starts to get super warm that afternoon. So we hike out. And this place is weird, like lots of public land, but there's kind of like one area where you would park and enter. And so as we're walking out, there's another guy walking in with like 2 other hunters with them. And he has this like unique like strap for his gun. And so Graham noticed it. I noticed it too. I talked to the guy. I'm like, hey, man, we might come back later. Just, want to know what you're doing so we're not stepping on each other. He's like, yeah, we're just going to do like a little hike and stalk in this area. It's like, all right, cool. We go back to the camp, and I'm like, man, we can't go back there. Like, there's too many people in there stomping around, too much shooting. Like, we got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
We go down to the boat ramp, just messing around. We see this guy with a nice duck boat, again, I'm a duck hunter, so I'm like, man, let's just talk to this guy.
Yeah.
He ends up having some mutual friends. We talked to him for a while. He invites us duck hunting. I'm like, nah, we got this deer tag. We got to stay on task here. So that evening we go somewhere else to hunt. No luck. Get back to our tent that night. Start looking on New Mexico Deer Hunter Facebook, and we see the guy with the unique strap on his gun with another little buck, and you can tell by the background it's a meadow. There's not many meadows in this area. Like, it's literally the same area.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, man. Now 2 people have killed little bucks that my friend Matt was like, hey, I saw 2 little bucks in this area. Like, this place has been stomped over. I'm like, we should just go duck hunting with the new friend that we met at the boat ramp. But again, I'm like, we got to stay in the course. We were lucky to draw this time. We got to stay in the course. So the next morning, we get up last morning. It's like Sunday morning, back to work Monday. We get out there early. I'm like, hey, we got probably half the day to hunt. We hike in about 3 miles. We get up high on what they call a mesa out here where we can see really far. And I see a giant buck about a mile away. It's probably 10 o'clock. I'm like, Graham, this is it, dude. We got to make our move. And the day before, we had seen a lot of like does and stuff. So we had practiced like spot and stalk, and we'd done pretty good. So I'm like, man, if we just keep some terrain between us and this big buck, like we'll be able to get down there. So we do just that. We like drop out of sight, sneak up as far as we can. It's in this big meadow, probably the same one that these other 2 guys had killed bucks in. And we get to like, in military terms, the last covered and concealed position, the last like little bit of wood line that there is before you're just out in the open. And we sit down against a tree, and I go ahead and I got this little tripod. I go ahead and get Graham set up, tripod pointing where we thought the deer were. But no deer there. But I'm looking at Graham like, man, we did a good job getting down here. Like, I don't think we spooked them. We just got to wait. And so a few minutes later, doe pops up. The ground's kind of undulated where, deer can be out in this meadow and you don't see them.
Okay.
So a doe pops up. I'm like, oh man, we're good. Like, he's probably still there. And I'm like, go ahead and put the rifle on the doe, and that'll get you in the right spot. Then the big buck pops out. It's like 250 yards. And again, we went to the range. We're not super confident. We got maybe 100. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, this is the part where Graham misses the big deer. Like, this is a horrible part of the story. I know where this is going. And then we're just sitting there for a minute, and another smaller buck pops up, and the smaller one starts walking to us. And, starting at 250 where the other big buck was, and starts walking to us. It's like he gets to like 200, 150, he gets to like a 100, and Graham's like, can I shoot? He's starting to get excited. Can I shoot? I'm like, no, awesome. Dude, he's walking right to us. I'm like, just let him come. This thing is full frontal walking to us. It probably gets to like 30 yards. And we're just sitting under these tiny cottonwoods, like maybe they're 10 feet high, like, 2 foot around cottonwoods. And we're basically out in the open. And it gets to like 30 yards straight on. And Graham's getting all excited, Dad, can I shoot? This thing's probably hearing us whisper to each other. And I'm like, dude, go for it. And so he lets it rip. And I'm like, oh, you hit it. You got it. And the thing turns and starts running. But it's running good. Like, it's looking healthy. And I'm like, oh, man, did my eyes, like, did I not see what I think I just saw? And then it just rolls over. And I'm like, oh, my God, dude, this is awesome. The big buck's still out there, like 250 yards. I'm like, dude, let's just sit here and watch this big one. And he's so excited. He's like, that lasted for like 2 seconds. He's like, no, Dad, I'm out. He goes running up, like way faster than me. He goes running up to the buck, which I thought was just like a kind of smaller buck. And he starts counting. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's like, Dad, it's a 10 point. I'm like, what? And sure enough, man, we get up on it. The first buck we saw must have been like a dang trophy, massive, because the buck that looked small Go ahead and grab yours. Is a 10-point, and just a hell of a way to start your deer hunting career.
Man,
Yeah,
that's a heck of a deer.
That's his first deer, public land. And here's the kicker: it's a whitetail in New Mexico, which is crazy. So all the locals are super excited. They're like, "Oh my God, a whitetail! Where was that at?" Like, I'm putting in for that, and I'm like, we were excited about a mule deer, but like, nonetheless, a 10-point whitetail's super cool and a hell of a way to start your duck hunting or
that's
deer hunting
awesome.
career.
Do you need like a different tag or something, or is it just like any deer?
No, it's just any deer. It's got to be legal. I think it's 3 points on one side is how they do it here. And so, man, your tag's good for either one.
That's super cool. That other deer must have been huge because that's a real good buck.
It must have been huge. I mean, I'm afraid to admit this, but it could have been a mule deer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm afraid to admit that, like, I couldn't tell from that distance. Like, it might have been a mule deer, and it was just so much bigger than this whitetail. I don't know. But I hope to go back to that area someday. So the story gets even better. So we're probably 3 miles in. It wasn't really mountainous, but 3 miles in. He's 10 years old at the time. If you'll learn this if you haven't already. Like, I'm carrying a bunch of crap for hunting with a kid. Like, I got every snack. Yeah. I got freaking hot chocolate, all kinds of layers of clothing so we don't get hot or cold or whatever. My pack is full. So I'm like, crap, what am I going to do? I'm like, this is probably at least 2 trips. I'm thinking maybe 3. And it's 3 miles back, and Graham's got to walk with me. Like, we're looking at walking at least 12 miles, maybe more, just to get this out. So I start cleaning it, and then I text the duck hunting guy that I had met at the boat ramp and another guy that was camping in the same state park that was deer hunting out there. I'm like, hey, look at this picture, just hoping that they'll be like, yeah, we'll help you come get it.
Yeah.
The other guy that was out there deer hunting
fishing.
was like,
you were fishing.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Needed help. And so the one guy that was also deer hunting was like, he was like butthurt. He was like, oh, that's cool. And then like crickets. I'm like, yeah, all right. The guy with the duck boat texts back like, hey man, how close are you to the north side of the lake? I look on my phone and I'm like, man, that's like a mile and a half away, maybe 2. Like, that's not going to help that much. I can just walk 3 and get back to the truck, And then he's like, hey, well, are you close to the river? I'm like, yeah, rivers in New Mexico don't have a lot of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this guy's got a mud boat. And I was like, man, I think I heard a mud boat going up and down this river yesterday. And I was like, yeah, I'm close to the river, dude. He's like, I don't have service up there. I was like, I sent him a pin, and I was like, dude, just stop at this pin. So this guy comes up the river in this duck boat, stops at the pin. He's like 100 yards away from us. I'd already quartered out the deer, cleaned it at this point. We loaded up. We ride out on a boat. Yeah, we ride out on a boat with a guy we'd never met before. It was just the coolest thing ever. And anyway, we were friends with the guy now. I've been duck hunting with him a whole bunch of times, and tried to pay him back the best we could. We've hooked him up a few times, but
that's amazing.
Just a wild story, and we're lucky to get that one out of the woods for sure.
Yeah, that's a heck of a first hunt, man. Congratulations on a great buck, buddy.
Thank you.
And that's an awesome story. I love that you guys got rescued by a random duck hunter.
And now we're friends. Like, I've been duck hunting with this dude probably 10 times since then.
That's amazing. Gosh, I could picture every moment of that hunt. That's super cool. Although I still do want to see what that other buck looked like, just in comparison. But yeah, you're probably right. It probably was a mule deer, which is why it stood out so much. But that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool, man. You see the smile on his face.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that moment. That was a good one.
That's awesome.
So, rounding out that same season, later on, I drew the oryx tag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are you familiar with the oryx hunting out here in New Mexico?
I've heard of plenty of people doing it. I've never really looked into it though, and I'm familiar with oryx. I think you got one on the wall behind you, so I think I know where the story's going.
Yeah, that's where the story's going. So, super lucky to draw the tag. Maybe I should have looked this up before we got on, but some former military guy that was stationed out this way, I think he was a pilot, wanted to, bring more recreation to White Sands Missile Range, which is kind of really out in the desert here in New Mexico. And so they imported these oryx, and really a similar climate to wherever they're from in Africa, and they just thrive. They're generally on the base. There's some that are off, but they're generally all around this White Sands Missile Range. So I put in for the tag. Being a veteran, you get a little bit higher priority, if you will, but still I think it's pretty rare to actually draw the tag. So you draw the tag, you start getting all these emails. The guy that runs it does a fantastic job. He starts like sending you emails to teach you about the animal and teach you how to hunt it. A lot of info about like cartridges and shot placement. These things are tough, like super tough. I think they're like vitals are armored for dealing with lions and whatever in Africa. So like super tough animal. You got to have the right weapon system, the right round, and the right shot placement, or you'll just be telling a story about the animal you didn't pick up. So I started getting all these emails from the guy running it, and just really started building up for it. Started going to the range. They're pretty keen. Like there's a fair amount of them on this range, but you don't just walk right up to them. So I'm training out to like 700, 800 yards, which I didn't even think was possible. But with the help of some friends and a good optic, it's super possible.
Yeah.
So I get dialed in. I'm doing my homework, getting ready. So it's a 3-day hunt. The first day we go down there, they're super like controlled about it. Everyone lines up at the gate. They check all your information, check your vehicle, all this stuff. Like they're doing a lot of research on weapon systems and stuff out there at White Sands Missile Range. Like it's a super controlled environment. You can't take pictures, all kinds of stuff. So the first day is really just a lot of that. And then sometimes your first day's Friday. Sometimes they'll let you loose Friday afternoon to go hunt. But there was testing going on and like other stuff going on the base. So Friday they didn't end up letting us hunt, which sucked. So Graham and I just went like shed hunting in the area, and then we're killing time basically. And there's a lot of national forest out there where you can shoot. It's legal, so we did a little shooting. Ironically, we're just getting dialed in. Like where I saw was a good safe place to shoot was like 243 yards. So I'm, dialing the scope for that and just making sure I'm zeroed and ready for the next day.
Yeah.
So then Saturday comes along. There's like 75 trucks lined up at the gate to get in. Everyone who's drawn a tag. We've got an idea of where we want to go. And then as they're giving us the briefing, there's like, hey, there's training in this area. There's a wildfire in this area. They basically blocked out everywhere we wanted to go. I'm like, damn it. I'm starting to get down, as I've mentioned in many other of my stories, but I'm like, you know what? It's a huge area. 75 trucks sounds crazy, but like this place is literally 60 miles wide and 100 miles long.
Okay.
The place is huge. So they finally let us hunt Saturday. They opened up the gate. All the trucks just start, hauling ass to different areas where the people are trying to hunt. We haven't seen any oryx. We drive pretty much all the way south of the area that we're allowed to hunt. So we drive about 20 miles. We don't see a single oryx. We get close to where we're planning to go, like plan C after everything else was closed.
Okay.
And there's these guys in the road, like glassing or whatever, and they had mentioned in the briefings, like, hey, don't be in the road, like don't block people. So we like pull up, and the guys don't want to move, and we're kind of like, come on, guys, like we're not hunting the same area, but we got to drive through here. Anyway, so we finally get around those guys, and we drive up onto a hill to basically kind of set up in glass opposite direction those guys were looking. As soon as we jump out of the truck, I pull up the binos and I see 2 oryx right away. And I'm like, obviously I get excited. We've got Matt, the guy that I've met here, he's done several oryx hunts. He really knows what he's doing. He's with us as well. and Graham. It's just the three of us. And we're lucky. We're right on this ridge, and we see the oryx, two of them, on the left side of the ridge. So we just drop on the right side of the ridge about 50 yards and just start running to get even with them. So Matt takes off running. He's the one who knows what he's doing. Me and Graham are kind of along for the ride. Graham's right behind him. I'm carrying a bunch of stuff, again, all the kid stuff for hunting. And I've got one of those bog grip tripod things.
Okay.
I was really trying to set up for like making a long shot. So I'm carrying quite a bit of stuff. I'm a little bit behind these guys, but I'm doing fine. And we get to where I think we're even with the two oryx. And I'm like, hey, Matt, I think we're even with them. Matt's like, no, keep going. I'm like, hey, man, okay. You know what you're doing. We go down further. We pop up over the ridge. Nothing. I'm like, we're looking at each other. I'm like, Matt, I think we were even with them back there. Matt's like, okay, I'm going to go check that. You guys just hang here. So Matt runs back, about 200-300 yards and peeks over the ridge, and he says they were like right in his face. So he like backs down off the ridge. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and he's not like giving any signals. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, please give me the come over here signal. Finally, after like what seemed like way too long of looking at each other, he gives the like, hey, get over here. Graham and I just take off running. I can tell we meet up with Matt kind of on our side of the ridge, and Matt's like, they're right there. I'm like, what's the distance? I'll go ahead and dial this guy. He's like, just shut up and get up there. He's like, you don't need a distance. I'm like, what?
Touch him with
like,
the barrel.
Yeah. I'm like, well, what about this bog thing, that we've been working on? He's like, drop that shit. I'm like, okay. So I just sneak out, like climb out onto this rock, literally the edge of the ridge, and they're there at 243 yards. Ironically, the same distance that I had shot and already had the scope dialed to from the day prior. And I climb out there nice and calm, squeeze off a great shot. And Matt's like, oh, shoot it again. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. Like, I know I put a perfect shot on that thing. It took like 10 steps, maybe not even, and just like sat down, head up, but like sat down. He's like, shoot it again. I shoot it again, another great shot, like right in the vitals. He's like, shoot it again. I ended up shooting this thing like 5 times, which was crazy. And all 5 of them, perfect shots. And it didn't go anywhere. It
didn't want to go down.
Did not want to give up. Huh. Yeah, like, and you hear all these stories, and if you'd read
it's like that whitetail from your first story, man.
I know, maybe it's me. And so we ended up shooting this thing. It wasn't going anywhere. It was going to die after the first one. I ended up shooting it like 5 times. And when we get down there, and of course there's like rock behind it, so the front quarters are pretty well obliterated. But it ended up being, a cool story. Graham, what did it look like when I climbed out there to shoot it? Yeah. It was pretty cool, and the pack out, that's where it really gets wild. So you can generally drive kind of close to where you kill the animals on the White Sands Missile Range, but they tell you to bring 4 guys. And for me, I'm like, I just moved into Mexico. I got my one friend Matt that knows how to hunt. He's gonna help us. I got Graham, and I'm good. I don't need like some other guys. So it's really just 2 men and Graham. And I soon realized why you need 4. So between the 2.5 of us and a winch, it was absolute hell getting this thing out of the ravine that it was in and into the back of the truck. But we got her done, and I'll show it to you.
How much is an oryx on the hoof? I don't even know.
Man, I'm going to say, here, this picture might help tell the story. Like, yeah. I'm going to say it was at least 500 pounds. Like,
yeah.
I've got some, it's a good one too. It's a bull. So I think it's 39 inches or something, which is pretty good.
Isn't it 40 like awesome? So like 39 is damn good.
Yeah. I think it's just below awesome, but I didn't care, man. I was like, hey, if we get We get
That's
one.
that's a beautiful buck. Is it bucks for oryx? I don't even know.
Yeah,
is it?
It's a bull. That one's a bull.
A bull. Okay.
The cows have the horns too. They're thinner. But yeah, it was super cool event on that one as well.
Yeah, that's something cool you guys can do in New Mexico. There's not many places you can hunt those guys. The Texas and New Mexico, and that's about it, other than going to like South Africa.
Yeah, so it's a once-in-a-lifetime tag too, so I'm done. But I'm hoping to get to do it again with Graham, or really I've got, all my buddies, everyone I know, talking them into putting in for it. So just
what are the odds you draw that, right? What was it, your first year in New Mexico putting in?
I know.
And you draw the once-in-a-lifetime tag? That's crazy.
I know, and that deer tag that I drew was really good too. So yeah, it's had crazy luck. For this coming season, I got a muzzleloader deer tag, and Graham got an cow elk tag. So we're
nice.
Excited about that. And we didn't get anything else, but that's really good.
Yeah, no, that's great. This year I have doing a little rifle more than archery this year. I might still do over-the-counter archery elk in Colorado just because I can and it's easy. But I got a rifle antelope tag, a rifle mule deer second rifle tag, and a friend met some old broad that plays pool with him, and she's like a trucking baroness or something and has some land, and she's like, yeah, I've got a bunch of elk on my property every year. If you want to get a tag, come on out. So hopefully that's a fun meat hunt for us. That's one of the ones I'm taking my son on, the antelope hunt and that cow elk hunt. So hopefully he gets to see something go down, but we'll see. You never know. It's hunting. It's not just killing. It's usually doesn't work out the way you plan.
Yeah, well, you're off to a good start with those tags. That's
right.
That's good luck right there.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Well, Matt, let's call it right here, man. This was a lot of fun. Some great stories. We'll have you back on. I want to hear how your season goes. I also want to hear some duck stories next time. How's that sound?
Yeah, I've got a couple teed up, ready to share with you when the time comes.
Perfect. Well, I think when you mentioned earlier you're going to walk off into the sunset. No socials. You want to share anything like that?
No, I'm good, man. Not trying to generate any influence, man. Just wanted to share these stories.
Awesome. Well, Matt, man, thank you so much for reaching out and being brave. I want more people to do it. And then sharing your stories, man. You had some killer stories. This was a lot of fun. And Graham, thank you for sharing your story with us, man. That was such a cool story. And, I hope every deer you shoot from now on is bigger than that last one, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, guys. That's it. Another couple stories in the books. Again, thank you to Matt for coming out, sharing his stories, even bringing his son on. I think that's only happened maybe twice in 200-plus episodes. So super, super fun. Again, amazing stories to listeners. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys appreciate this. Nobody to follow this week except me if you want to, if you haven't already. But if you do have some stories, hit me up. I'd love to hear from you. Now get out there and make some stories of your own.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
This episode is brought to you by Boat Trader, America's largest boating marketplace. Whether you're buying, selling, or upgrading, the Boat Trader app makes it easy. With the biggest selection of new and used boats from dealers and private sellers. Browse, compare, and even apply for financing. All in one place. Download the Boat Trader app and start your search today.